of Michael Michelle, one of Benzie Design's Maker Team members, and today I wanted to talk to you all about Benzy's metallic felts and just its awesome ability to reinforce your work to really attain a firm and rigid shape. So just to start off, I'm just going to show you this very, very simple circle shape. Now, this one, I actually just used a Thinlits die and my Sizzix cutting machine. So I'm sure a lot of you are really familiar with those. Basically, when I'm using the Thinlits on the metallic felt, I like to feed it forwards and backwards, and it gives you those really crisp, nice, clean lines. I know sometimes when you're doing something with a little bit more detail in the cutting, it might not work out if it's really small, but pieces like this, it's perfect and it works really well with the metallic felt. Now, my whole reason for starting with showing you this piece in particular is because you can see just from that really beautiful 100% wool felt on the backside and that metallic sheen, this is just one simple layer of that metallic felt. Now, the cool thing about this is when we bend it and let it go, it goes right back to that awesome circular shape. So just starting off by showing you with this one simple circle, it really does have awesome rigidity. And even if you try to pull on this, it really maintains that shape in that little circle. Now, I also have a few pieces kind of laid out here that I just wanted to share of my own work and how I incorporated the different Benzie design metallics into my own pieces here. Now, first off, I'm just going to show you guys what I have off to the side over here. These are pods, or we'll call them cradles, and basically may look a little familiar to some of you, but this one is just made using the wool blend, which I have an assortment of colors because I love Benzie. But as you can see here, it's very flexible. It has a lot of kind of pliability to it. Now, the thing is, I knew that I needed to maintain the shape. So oftentimes when we have patterns that we create ourselves, or, you know, ones that we're following along, you'll find that they kind of call for cardstock to be inserted into certain spots. Now, since I just drew up this design myself, me personally, I actually, instead of using cardstock, like to use the foam sheets that you can find at any craft store in like the kids' craft supplies, basically. I really prefer using this, just a personal preference, because that way, if you have kind of a rounded shape, like what I have in my arch here, if that's gonna bend, your cardstock isn't really gonna go back, but the foam sheet's way more forgiving. So with that said, this piece, you see that in addition to having all the spots that you have to cut, like the 2 pieces of felt for this little circle here, I also had to cut a foam circle, which is stitched inside here. There's a foam shape that's stitched inside of this base piece. And then there's also the foam strip that's inside of this here. And now I'm just going to detach one side so you can kind of see it. It's pretty flexible, you know, bends back. But when it's open, kind of opens up really long. But again, with that in there, the foam sheet, it really does maintain that shape pretty well. So I'm just going to snap this back. But what I want to show you, I wanted to use Benzie's metallic felt in a pod. This is actually one for me, but I wanted to use it because I feel like it adds like just really pretty dimension. You can see even here the little detail on the front. It's just the wool blend on top of the metallic, but also on the sides here, I'm going to show you, I'm going to bend this totally. There's no foam piece inside of this, and you can see it's just a piece of the wool blend felt along with that metallic blush shade. And same thing with the base here. I put the metallic blush shade here, and then on the bottom of it, that's just that wool blend felt again. So you can see I'll push it and fold it. There's no foam inside of here, keep in mind. So no foam in there. But as soon as you push that right back, boom, your shape is totally maintained. So it's really great. It adds that awesome dimension, sheen, and detail. And honestly, takes out another step, which I love making things easier for myself. So again, I'm just going to unsnap this side to kind of show you guys. You can see the other one opened up a little bit further, and even right here, just that right there, you can see how well the metallic felt actually maintains that shape, because you've got like a complete arch without even having it buttoned in place. So I'm just going to snap this one back. And then the next thing that I wanted to show you all, another little example here. I actually was thinking, okay, I love making dolls and their accessories, but sometimes I feel like I might not want to stitch as much as the pattern calls for. And if you check out these really cute little Mary Janes, you'll see that I have stitching around the entire exterior. So it's not just the, sorry, let me bring this over here. It's not just the base of it here around the sole of the shoe, but I've got the stitching across this part and all the way around that strap. And now that's really just simply because when you're opening and closing these, you know, although I don't recommend, you know, probably a really little kid playing with these, but you know, an older one who's slightly more careful, you know, you can give that a nice tug, and with those reinforcing stitches there, that quilt stitch around the end, it's really going to keep its shape. And that's what you have to do for those thinner pieces on the wool blend felts, as well as, like I said, this pattern actually called for a little cardstock in here. But again, I like to put that foam in there because it's a little more forgiving. So if it bends, it still just goes back and maintains its shape. So you can see, really cute, looks great, but you have all this stitching across here. Now, for my daughter's little doll, I was really excited because I had just gotten in some of Benzy's metallic felts. And I absolutely love it for these little Mary Janes, because to me, it looks like patent leather. So much so that I did not even add the little detail of the button to the side. Now, with these, again, I could skip the step of putting that foam insert, and this is actually just wool blend on the bottom as well. And then again inside, I'm going to put one of these down. And then again inside, when I unsnap this here, you'll see I've just got that metallic right here on the base, and that really gives it that nice flat, rigid shape that it maintains. And then you'll really see the detail here, that nice crisp line that I did not sew. Because, I mean, in all honesty, you really don't need to with these. Even though that's a thinner strip right here, when you're pulling on that, you know, granted, I'm not yanking on this, mind you, but I'm giving it a good enough tug, and that's really not stretching in the least. So it really maintains its shape well, and I love it because it just kind of gives a little more realism to your little dolly, even though this goes for a unicorn. But it does just look really cute, little patent leather shoes. Now, for my main kind of thing that I wanted to show you guys, because honestly, I was working on this little project, and I wanted to make a mini robot. I love robots. They're just adorable. And I thought it would be really cool to do. Now, this was my first little trial, and he looks adorable. I'm going to keep him because he's awesome. And you can see right here around the edges, you can see where it goes kind of straight, and then it almost goes up a bit, even though that was a really straight line. It's kind of difficult to maintain. Sorry, I kind of made that shake there. It's kind of difficult to maintain those nice crisp edges. So I kind of felt like he was lacking a little bit. And then I thought, you know what? I should use my metallic felt. Now, if you look at these two pieces, this first one I was trying because I wanted to see if I could get the my iron-on to actually adhere to these, and I did not have very much luck with that. But you know what? I think it turned out even better, because then I can make him like a little mix and match robot. And you can see right here just the difference in those crisp lines. You can see this corner here, where you can really tell that is square and rigid compared to this little guy. Now, just to show you one that's complete, I got my little teddy bear bot here. And I'm going to try to match up their bodies for you so you can really see the difference. If you check them out, it almost looks like they're kind of different sizes. And they're really not. This was the exact same design. The exact same pieces were cut out. It just really goes to show you that when you use Benzy's metallic felt, it really does a great job maintaining that shape and those nice, crisp, rigid corners here. See, I'll turn them on the side so you can see that too. Little square there. And so much so, I was very excited with how my little mini robot turned out that I went on to create a larger version. Now on this one, you could see the smaller size shapes. It does definitely maintain the shape a bit better. And you don't have to overstuff these by any means because you don't want it to poof on the sides if you're trying to get that flat line there. But even these pieces here, this is Benzie Designs metallic felt. So you really, if you want to get that nice crisp side, I know a lot of us make, really cool houses and things like that where you need the sides to be very, very flat for your design to look slightly realistic and not poofy. And oftentimes, like I said, I'll use my foam sheets for that. But in all honesty, if I can make it look really cool, really rigid, and avoid that step of having to finagle the foam and the felt pieces while trying to jam some fluff in there, I will definitely go this route. And you can see how awesome he looks, how great this metallic iron-on, adhered to the felt. It's just like your other felt that you would use from Benzie. It goes on really well. And even here, like when you squish him down, he goes right back. And he only has a little bit of poofy. So he's got that nice, rigid, crisp line, which is what I was going for. And now there's just another little thing that I wanted to touch on. When I am working with the metallic felts, it is awesome and it is pretty forgiving. But I will say I have a little piece of scrap over to the side. I just wanted to show you guys. Now, so like, we'll just take this, for example. So, okay, so this one, when we're stabbing it through, let me get it up a little bit higher. Okay, so when we're stabbing it through, right, and removing it, I'm not sure if you can see, let me put this down. If you can see that hole straight through, and even if we kind of flatten it over, it's not super obvious, but you can still kind of see it. So if you're concerned with making a hole and then trying to remove it to basically hide that little mark, I recommend a smaller size needle when working with these, because when you stab that through and remove it, there really is a difference between those. Let me see if I can flatten them down so you can see how it is still forgiving now. But you can definitely see that there is a difference in how forgiving those sizes are and how much they blend in. So again, just a little tip. I like to use that really small size needle when I am working with the metallic felt. So that way, when you're going around, you don't really see any of the spots where you had to remove the needle and thread that through. And well, basically, I know a lot of us are gearing up for Halloween. So just another little last thing that I want to show you because I was too excited about these. I love how you can actually just use that metallic felt as well, just to add those slight realistic details that you can add to whatever you're working on. It's pretty cool. Cut some little veggies with those. So, well, and you know what, that is it for me. I really hope that you guys found this video helpful and informative, and maybe just kind of giving you enough examples to get a little inspiration or ideas to incorporate Benzie Designs metallic felt into your creations. So, thank you so much for watching and have fun creating.